is The Sit Down, and I'm here with actor Ryan Eggold, star of the Oscar-nominated film BlackkKlansman, of course, and the NBC drama New Amsterdam. Hello.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Hello, man. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
It's good to have you. Of course, BlackkKlansman, 6 Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So amazing. So happy for Spike. Man, does he deserve it.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
The first time Spike Lee has gotten an Oscar nomination.
Can you believe that?
I had to fact check it because I was like...
I know.
Even for 4 Little Black Girls?
I know, man.
Yeah.
I grew up on those movies. He's made so many good ones, and it's great to see him finally have this moment.
Totally. Well, let's take a look, because we actually have a clip of his reaction when he found out. I love
That's great. Yeah, it's only like, 30-something great movies in the making.
No big deal, no big deal. What was your reaction when you found out?
Oh, you know what? I was just so happy for everybody, and for, for editing, for score, for Adam, for all these, for Best Picture, for the writing. It's cool. I'm lucky to be a part of it and to work with Spike. He's an amazing artist, an amazing person, and really supportive. And Spike was cool enough to let me do something really different in this movie, from anything I'd done before, and I was really appreciative of that opportunity, and it was cool, man.
What's it like auditioning to play a Klansman? How's that work?
Yeah.
I mean, for Spike Lee.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, the funny thing about Spike is, like, the idea of him is intimidating because of his body of work, and you walk in and then he's very disarming, and he's very cool, and he's immediately very supportive and is your cheerleader and in your corner, and great. And yeah, it was funny. I ended up reading for one part and then switching to another, and so the part that I ended up playing was kind of was last minute, like unprepared. Like I'd prepared this one thing.
Oh.
And I think
was it another Klansman?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, I thought I was going to be one of the...
I was auditioning for JD's role.
Okay.
And then they decided it was better if JD played it. Okay. But no, I'm teasing. Yeah, and so it ended up being kind of a cold read situation, and it was great. But yeah, the only thing I, in the moment, was trying to do was not play him like an idea of a white supremacist or a guy in the KKK, but just play him. Yeah, good. I hope so. Okay. Yeah, you mean the stash and the things and the
How did the racist face come together? Was it method acting? Was it makeup?
Yeah. That's how I normally look, and finally I could just do that. This is my fake, nice face that I pretend all the time. No, it was cool. It was kind of a small town, and I had watched some documentaries and looked at these guys, and they had all these different looks, and yeah, we got those great 70s period glasses, and the wardrobe, we had strange, like, velvet shirts, and
was there anything you did with your face? Can you do it now?
Oh yeah. No, you mean like expression wise?
Because it wasn't just the glasses.
I don't know what happened. I blacked out for that whole experience and woke up, and Spike was like, "We're done," and I was like, "Great." Yeah. No, I mean, I had to go to the grocery store with that mustache and weird military cut. And
what was that like?
People would stare,
Wow.
Who's the creepy guy? Like, you were 100% people thought you were a child molester.
Oh,
sure. For a good 6 weeks of my life, yeah.
It was like, is he a child molester? Is he a Klansman?
Yeah.
I mean, because what I was really wondering, too, was, a lot of things, but also, what was it like playing this character? And as you mentioned, part of your thinking was like, he's going to be a real person, and that is going to be what's disturbing. What was it like playing this character in the film nods to Charlottesville, in this political climate?
Right. I think what's most frightening about a group like that is that it could be your next door neighbor, or it could be somebody that and you wouldn't necessarily, they wouldn't be wearing a sign that says I'm it, they would just be grabbing the paper and all that. So yeah, you tried to play the sort of banality of that, or the mundane, everydayness of that, and then in the context of this, it's frightening. But I mean, bringing it back to Charlottesville and how it's pertinent today, it's so sadly relevant, and the end of that movie is such a powerhouse, just punches you in the face, reminding you how real it is, and how this stuff affects people, and how pervasive it is, and how You know, I mean, how the President of the United States didn't immediately condemn white supremacy, or still
good people,
hasn't. Really,
people on both sides.
Yeah, just crazy. So it's important to have those conversations, and it's nice, I think, when you can do it in the context of a film like this, where there's humor as well, and you can enjoy it, and it's entertaining, and then, of course, there is profound moments as well, and then that documentary footage that really lands it home. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was also wondering, you know, obviously language is a part, you know, and saying the N-word, saying nigger is a part of the film and your role.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you have conversations with Spike Lee, with your castmates about it?
Yeah, Topher was joking that, you know, Spike would come up and whisper, like, saying that, and he'd go, "Would you say that to everybody? Because I don't want people to think I just came up with that." That's Topher's line, which is so true. But Spike would sometimes even shout things out too, like, say, and you're like, all right, well, you know, he says,
God.
But it was such a supportive set, because you're using this language of hate and other things to tell a story that's about overcoming it, you know? And so, you know, nobody for a second everybody was on board with Spike's vision and in support of that and doing it. But yeah, as I hope a decent person, I hope I can consider myself that, it takes a moment to shed your initial reaction to a word like that.
Because you can't flinch every time you say it.
Right, and you can't be uncomfortable with it, because this is a guy who has to be deeply comfortable with this language and deeply comfortable in this position of bigotry, you know, so you have to shed your initial discomfort with that. And bizarrely, you know, get comfortable with it, if only for the short time between action and cut. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, of course, you also star as a doctor on NBC's drama New Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And I have spoken from someone else on the show too, and I wanted to ask you the same question. How has the show, which really goes into the impact of healthcare, you know, on people and the politics when it becomes a patient, has it impacted how you look at the kind of cultural conversation about healthcare in America?
Very much so, and it's just made me realize how much I have to learn, as most of us do, in terms of how it works, how convoluted the system is, and how so many people. I mean, right now, not to get all on the soapbox, but you know, we have this shutdown, and there's people who can't afford their insulin, and you know, are saying, "Well, I hope I wake up tomorrow," you know, and it's like, it's terrifying. But even when the government is running, there's a lot of problems that make healthcare difficult and unattainable for a lot of people. And I think Eric, who wrote the book the show is based on, his biggest thing is trying to make it human again and not make it a business, not capitalize on people's health, you know, scares.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that thoughtfulness, because it's needed.
Yeah.
Well, something I noticed, you were not on Twitter, which, you know, stay free.
I'm trying.
I love Twitter. Twitter loves me, but you know.
You know what? The thing on Twitter too is, like, I know it seems like it's so much arguing these days.
Okay.
Especially with the divisiveness of for me, it seems like just so much anger and hate and trolling and people yelling at each other and stuff. And there's good stuff on there too. You get your news and there's. And
I was going to ask, do you have like an account where like you're not tweeting or anything, but maybe you're using it to follow news at all? Okay.
No.
All right.
No. The only thing I'm on is the Instagram, because it just infused itself into the fabric of our very society and the entertainment industry. It's unavoidable.
Okay. All right. Because I was wondering, because also I've noticed people are like I thought I was nosy.
Yeah.
People are like really obsessed with your personal life.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, is this why he's not on Twitter, so he can just like totally avoid all of that?
Save everybody the trouble. It's really boring. Sometimes I go to bed at 9 p.m.
Ooh.
Sometimes I do read a book in bed. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes it gets crazy.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, sometimes we were cursing earlier.
Yeah.
I said the F word. I said fudge.
He did.
I said fudge. So sometimes I live on the edge. I can't help it.
Right, literally looked at me and said, "Can I curse?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, good, fudge." And I was like, "That's your, that's your go-to."
I feel like we should rectify that. Fuck.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Now we're good. I'm sorry. I didn't want everyone to think I couldn't
you got
say
a bell. You got a bell. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
That's a good word to end on.
this morning.
Thank you, man.
We're going to be rooting for BlackkKlansman at the Oscars.
Me too, man. For Spike, for everybody.
Really exciting. 6 Oscar nominations.
That's good. That's great for everybody, man.
Well overdue. Of course, you can watch BlackkKlansman over and over again. I'm going to watch it again tonight. And you can watch Ryan on Tuesdays, A New Amsterdam on NBC. And also tell us using the hashtag AM2DM what you think Dr. Goodwin's doctor nickname should be. I'm thinking, well, Dr. Fuck doesn't really fit.
That's a pornographic film that I saw one day. It's a different
genre.
entirely, different
genre.
program.
You know, you're Oscar nominated now. All right. Up next, Isaac and I are going to read more of your tweets.